Presented from the Aishin Broadcast Studio at Babcock's Media.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Business Casual. I'm Emma Henderson, Managing Editor of Aftermarket News, and with me today is James Odell. He is Director of Corporate Education at Northwood University. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Glad to be with you.
Same. And, we had a lot to talk about when we discussed this episode, including some new announcements that you guys have coming on to Northwood University and University of the Aftermarket. So what is happening with you guys right now?
Lots of things happening at Northwood, and specifically with the aftermarket program, and also with our University of the Aftermarket professional development training, both academic courses and non-degree seeking courses. You'll see more announcements coming up soon, but we're thrilled to have be enhancing our partnership with MEMA and AutoCare and AWDA and working more collaboratively with them going forward. And I think you're going to see some nice things coming out of that enhanced partnership. You'll definitely see some more announcements here in the near future. I know those that were at the AutoCare Fall Leadership Days. If you were in the AWDA meetings, there was some brief discussion about that partnership being enhanced. And so we're excited about that. I think you're going to see some new curriculum come out of that, some new topics, new coursework, and should be very, very good for the industry, including in the non-degree seeking programming. We're working very hard in the industry to develop additional partnerships, custom programs for organizations. So we can dive more into that in a little bit. On the academic side of Northwood, lots of new programming coming out of the automotive and aftermarket programs. We have a new cohort of MBA students that are specific to the automotive and aftermarket field. It's not the first time we've had a cohort of automotive and aftermarket professionals go through, but we do have a new cohort starting here very soon. So if you are thinking about doing your MBA and you're in the aftermarket or automotive spaces, you can come through that MBA program with peers of like mind from the industry and have the MBA tailored, all the case studies tailored to our industry. So very exciting. We also have a Master of Science in Organizational Leadership that is geared specifically to automotive. So you can be part of MSOL with, again, peers from the industry and topics that are tailored to industry learning. We also have recently announced that we are adding some motorsports focused curriculum and classes to our undergraduate programs. So those students that are interested in motorsports as a career, either managing or in advertising or whatever realm in motorsports they want, they have some coursework now that they can go through specific to that. We have alumni, we have trustees, we have industry relationships that are strong in the different racing series. And so we're looking forward to bringing that all together so that we can show students that pathway to an aftermarket career as well.
I think that's really exciting. And obviously, our audience is aftermarket focused. So all of those aftermarket updates are going to be well received, I believe. So our question following that is, so we have people investing in further education. It can help reduce turnover and create opportunities in their company. Why is that so important in our industry?
In our industry, we see folks that come into it fairly young, specifically in the retail storefront side of things. They come in and they like the industry. They have that first job, maybe it's a second job, and we don't want to see them leave to go pursue other interests because they don't feel like they have a pathway in the industry. In some of our coursework that we do, we talk about some of the industry dynamics. One of our presenters, Tammy Tecklenburg, uses this slide fairly often about the number of young folks that we're able to recruit into the industry, and yet nearly half of them tend to bounce within the first year or two because they don't feel like there's the pathway there. We see that with a lot of our young students is they go out into the workforce in whatever industry that happens to be. And if they join a company where they don't see a pathway, they don't see opportunity for growth, they don't see opportunity for learning, they're going to move on to something else. The younger generations, the newer generations coming into the workforce tend to have many more jobs than previous generations have. They move from job to job. One person put it this way: they're either going to career plan with you, or they're going to career plan without you. And so we definitely want them career planning with us and being part of that conversation so that we can show them the pathway and keep them in the industry. So our viewpoint is that opportunity and education are two tools in the toolbox that we can use to help folks grow, learn, develop, bring on new skills for themselves, see new opportunities, make them more valuable for their employer, and ultimately then reduce the turnover rate that we have within the industry. If we can give them some learning, some new classes, some new curriculum, teach them some skills, show them some opportunity, then they will stay in a higher percentage than they would otherwise. Looking through the research and the studies that have been put out there, we definitely want to show people that they're valued, that they're cared for, that we see and have an interest in them, and that we want to help them grow. Organizations that do that tend to have more loyal employees, employees that are engaged, employees that will work hard and deliver results for their organization. So learning and education and opportunity is part of that, and tools that we want to help organizations in the aftermarket use.
Absolutely. And one of those tools that you have mentioned is collaboration with aftermarket companies to actually help further the educational opportunities that are available right now. So, what are things that Northwood are looking for that maybe the aftermarket and aftermarket companies could contribute to help with this retention?
Well, we want to invest in the organizations in the industry, and specifically ones that are invested in the goals and outcomes of the students at Northwood. We want a true partnership where we can contribute significant value to those organizations, and in turn, they're providing opportunities for our students. So as a university, we're looking for organizations that have internships and career opportunities that they can provide our students. The organizations that have the most success recruiting our students are ones that are on campus, attending different events, speaking in classes, talking to our students, creating relationships, seeking them out when they come to Apex and SEMA or HDAW or PRI or whatever industry conference that those students are at. Those organizations are seeking them out and furthering that relationship. So we want to partner with organizations in that way. What we can provide of value to those organizations is we want to invest in, again, additional curriculum and learning and opportunities for your employees. I understand that at Northwood, our employees are well prepared, uniquely qualified for aftermarket jobs, but we just don't have enough students to supply a student for every aftermarket job that's out there. Organizations are going to recruit from other universities and find employees from other companies, and even recruit employees from different industries. When that happens and you have that new employee that has never been exposed to the aftermarket before, we can provide training for that individual, whether on an individual basis, or if you have a group of students or a group of professionals that are new to the aftermarket, we can provide training for them. I was just on site at a very well-known aftermarket manufacturer and delivered Aftermarket 101 to their cohort of 25 employees, many of which were newer to the industry. And those are the types of things that we want to partner with. What areas do you need some additional training? What areas would you like some custom curriculum built out? We can do that for you. We're a small university, which makes us very agile and makes us able to pivot and create custom programming for you. It's not a one size fits all, but it's that type of collaboration where we can bring training opportunities, we can bring curriculum, we can bring custom programs to you to help further and enhance the career of your employees, to make them better equipped to handle the jobs that you and deliver the results that you need them to deliver. And conversely, we want you to partner with us by supporting our mission and giving opportunities to our students and furthering our goal of developing leaders that drive global social and economic progress. So that's the type of collaboration we're looking for in the industry.
And I think it's really interesting. You referred to it as a knowledge pipeline, the idea of having a program where people can understand the industry. What do you see as the benefit of having a larger knowledge pipeline for people who are just getting started in the aftermarket?
Our industry is in many ways unique and has its own lexicon and its own players. We go unseen for a large percentage of the society. They don't really understand what the automotive aftermarket is, or the motor vehicle aftermarket for commercial vehicle or power sports, all of those different aftermarkets. They don't really understand that it exists as a unified industry and who the players are, how it operates. When we talk to our students or we talk to professionals and we have them think about how is it that you can take your vehicle almost anywhere in the country and drive into a repair shop and say, I need my brakes replaced. And within 30 minutes to an hour, those parts will show up at the shop. They don't know what vehicle you're driving. They don't know what shop you're going to come into today. And yet the industry is able to deliver parts and service to a vehicle within a very, very short time. That doesn't happen without a very intricate, complex system that is working together, and that's the aftermarket. And in those complexities, those intricacies, that terminology, that lexicon, for most that have never been in the industry before, is all brand new. And it takes time to get up to speed with all of that. And while you're getting up to speed, you're not as productive, you're not giving the results that the organization needs you to give. So expanding that knowledge pipeline, getting people up to speed quickly, having them understand who their suppliers are, who their customers are, how they provide value, how the industry got to where it is, all helps industry, helps professionals move faster and provide results more quickly than they would otherwise. Ultimately, that comes back to the value that they can create and the value that the organization then can provide back to their customers within the industry.
Absolutely. And I know you touched on this in the beginning, but I just wanted to give people a little hint, hint, wink, wink. You said there is potentially more to come with all of these, right? So I'm guessing we should probably be paying attention to you guys coming up relatively soon.
Yeah, we will have more announcements and information coming out. Like I said, we're enhancing our partnership with MEMA, with AutoCare, with AWDA, and within the industry with organizations. You might see some things at Apex coming up. You never know. The next big show. Like I said, I know that AWDA was talking a little bit about it at the recent meeting at the Fall Leadership Days. But you will see either on our channel or our partners' channel further announcements and clarification exactly how we're moving forward. And I think over the next 12 months, you'll see a number of things coming out as far as new curriculum and new opportunities for learning, for earning CEUs, and just really promoting the value of continuing education, that lifelong learning.
So essentially, stay tuned because exciting
Stay
things are
tuned.
coming. All right.
Absolutely.
So, one thing that we do with every guest here is we ask them their aftermarket three. It can be three moments, people, mentors, basically three reasons you stay around the aftermarket. And I know that you are very involved and you are clearly passionate about it. So, I'm curious, what are your aftermarket three?
Well, I think for most folks, the story that I often hear is that they got into the aftermarket accidentally. It's something they fell into, not something they sought out. That was true of me as well. And what keeps me here is the same thing as I hear from most people. It's the people that you work with, it's the people that you've gotten to meet. And that's true of me. It's the relationship, it's the bond. And really, that for me um, comes down to two primary events. So people would be my first of the three, but these two primary events or people in my life really contributed to that and made that possible. The first thing was a mentor, Thomas Litzinger, who hired me into the aftermarket. And when he joined Northwood, gave me an opportunity, asked me if I would be interested in, has always been one that has contributed, counseled, has been a true mentor in the aftermarket, and I'm so grateful for that. And back some 12, 13 years ago, he went through Leadership 2.0 through the University of the Aftermarket. And when he came back to work, we could all see there was something different about him. And it was a unique opportunity. And he told me, "You've got to go through this. You've got to go through this." And I thought, why do I need to go through what is Leadership 2.0? Why do I need to do this? And he convinced me to apply. I applied. I was accepted, and had a tremendous opportunity. It was transformative for me. And we hear that so often from people who have gone through. It's the relationships that I built there that helped contribute to that first one, the people. It's the relationships that I developed there that continue on to this day, which again is a theme so often repeated by folks in the industry. And I could go through the names. I don't want to forget anybody or leave anybody out, but it's names of people that now come back and teach in the U of A with me. It's folks that lead organizations within the industry who support. It's folks that will come to campus and teach be a guest speaker in our academic classes to help the students understand what is going on in the real world aftermarket. Those relationships persist, and I'm so grateful that I had that opportunity. It opened up my viewpoint of what the industry is and the relationships, and really inspired me to continue on. It engaged me in the industry overall, got me developed my passion for the industry, which all goes back to that mentorship and those people. Those three things, really can't be separated one from another and enhance one another, and are what make the aftermarket so rewarding for me. And now I'm privileged. I feel honored to be able to follow the steps of those that have led the University of the Aftermarket and worked at Northwood University previously, and the good work they've done. And I stand on their shoulders to get to invest in others. And it truly is rewarding because it feeds the people part, it feeds the mentorship part, it feeds the lifelong learning part. And I feel quite privileged to be in this position.
Absolutely. Well, James, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate having you today. And I'm sure everyone will be looking for those updates. And thank you to everyone else for watching.